All right, guys. Hope you guys doing fine. First of all, I need to know if you guys can hear me well. So please let me know on the chat if you guys can hear me well. I see some uh, delay. I'm speaking and I see my own image like a few seconds delay, but just let me know if you guys are hearing me. Howdy, I will learn how to say hello in Portuguese next time. Best of times with you and your family. Thank you, Herman Walker. Loud and clear. Thank you, Blue Green, Joy Mama. So shout out to everyone already here. Thank greets from Switzerland, Christopher Fournier. Christopher, great guy. He sent me a translations of the. If you guys remember the video I made, I don't know. I think it was last year about Nikon cameras that the range is 160 kilometers, about 100 miles. So if you can focus on something, a star, it's because it's about 100, 120, 30 miles up there. So greetings. Actually, Christopher, my sister and brother-in-law, they were visiting Switzerland just about 2 weeks ago. You guys, I apologize. You see that my voice is still not okay. I was supposed to have a show last weekend. That's last Sunday. I had the most severe sore throat that I have ever had in my whole life. I have never felt a sore throat so bad like that. So I was almost crying for you. I spent 3 days trying to make it go away naturally with honey, ginger, and lemon, making, tea. But I had to go to the clinic and she gave me some antibiotics. And, the next day I was already feeling better. So I apologize for that. All right, so we have some topic to talk about today. So greetings, Mikey. I got your picture. I'm gonna try to show today. Yeah, I got the firmament. I'm gonna show later. So have faith from Australia. Big hug to all my flat earth friends in Australia, and I do have quite a few there. Big hug, guys. I mean, you are amazing. You guys are amazing, okay? Kansas, USA, Egypt. Greetings from Egypt, my friend. All right, that's amazing, Kathy. Nebraska, and all of you guys here today. Thank you, Soldier of Yahweh. Thank you. Yeah, I'm getting better. Drinking warm water. This is warm water. But I have some topics to talk about today. I wanted to talk last weekend. So the title of today's show is the globe uh, scam. All right, they have been scamming us for so long. Okay, so let me try to find a quote here by Julian Assange. Now, some people don't like Julian Assange. They say, well, he's just a shield, just like everybody else. But he has a quote. Let me see if I find here on Google real quick. It's about the Afghanistan War. So Julian, yeah, and I'm going to explain, why this quote is important. So in 2011, he talked about the Afghanistan War. Okay, so let me see if I find his quote here. The goal is an endless war, not a successful war. So let me see if I can share. Oh yeah, I need to share my screen. Oh, my screen. Uh, well, he said something like, "The goal is an endless war, not a successful war. It's just like they just opened that stop so they could be laundering money for years and years and going to different agencies." So what I want to say is that the whole space program, it is just like the Afghanistan, it's just an endless spate of laundering money. I'm going to explain why. Back in 1971, Neil Armstrong had gave an interview when he said that in his lifetime, we would see moon bases, bases on the moon and all that stuff. And let me go ahead and run this. I really like this passage, professing themselves. Sorry, guys. Professing themselves to be wise, they became fools. So if you go even to Google back in the 70s, there are many headlines from old newspapers. Moon bases in 1974, 1976, and that never really happened. So what happened is the whole generation from the 1970s, they end up, getting old, got married, got sick, had other things they forgot all about. So you came the other generation, the 80s, same thing, right? So many of those animations made in the 80s were actually made with props, those models like the Japanese, the Godzilla movie where they built the whole city, bridge, river, looks like real. And that's how they did it back in the 80s, right? And there is even a video where it shows the head of the guy in the back. There was a Challenger or Discovery, whatever, one of those shuttles, space shuttles, and there was a big head in the back, right? Because it's basically they were using models, props, right? And then with the advance of the CGI, they started to use more and more CGIs. Okay, so it's a big scam, right? So the goal is, sorry again, guys. As I said, I still have a bad throat. I wasn't supposed to be talking as much. So this is the goal. Right? So they have these missions and they go to Congress, and yeah, it's all over the world like that. Okay, all agencies, not just in the U.S., but the Indian Space Agency, the Russian, especially ESA, the European Space Agency. Uh, so it's a big money pit. Okay, it's scamming and scamming and scamming, all CGI stuff. So this guy, Geo Shifter, he is back. He's been making some videos. So I'm gonna start off by playing one of his videos here. So I was trying to find anything that we learned from the years of the space station, like all those experiments they have been making there, all that stuff. I can't find anything, anything at all. All that money there, I haven't find anything. So let me see here if I can. Yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and play this one. Shout out to GeoShifter. He's back and he's from Belgium. Let's watch this one.
Hello my friends! Good news! Look what I've got! It's the page from the European Space Agency, all the scientific research they did on the International Space Station. This is awesome. Today is the day I can finally prove that NASA and ESA is doing science in space. Look at the amount of links. All experiments. So let's check it out. Let's start with the first one. Empty page. That's probably a coincidence. Let's look at the second one. Oh, it's an empty page again. Maybe the third one. You know what? I will check out all these links. I'm not gonna keep you waiting, and if I find anything, I'll get back to you.
One eternity later.
I'm at the end of the page. I clicked on every single link and they all go to an empty page. Every single link. The only few links that are working are some of the references in the bottom. So let's check it out. Well, this one is not working. Let's try another one. You see, some of them are working, but then if you look at them, there are almost always no results. Always empty. Another one. See, objective, procedure, and no result. So basically it's an ID for an experiment without a result. Again, no results. Wait, I found one before. This one, crickets in space. This one had a result. You see, we made 112 crickets in space. So that's the kind of science we have done on the International Space Station. Maybe someone else can find some other interesting stuff. I'll leave the link in the description. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.
All right, so guys, this is the kind of research they are making over there. 20, 30, 40 years, I don't know, they've been there forever. And you don't really, I can't find anything that they've done all these years. And you can imagine how much money, put into that. So of course, all this money go, I don't know, to different projects and pockets and mansions and trips and first class trips and all that stuff. And what happened is people forget, like after a few years, after one generation, people don't think about that anymore. Like when you're in high school, maybe in college, and because there are a lot of lectures on physics and space, all that stuff. So you might be interested. But when you leave college, sometimes you get married, you have kids, you buy your house, you have to pay mortgage, you gotta pay bills. You don't really care anymore. And then, it's for the next generation, the next generation, the next generation. And it's a never ending story. The never ending story probably is about something like this. You never really see any results. And with the improvements of the uh, CGI, I mean, it's incredible, guys. Uh, yes, let me show this one here, Mike. It's terrible, okay? So flat Earth, when it came along, it really started exposing all that stuff, you know. And of course, they had to silence flat Earth. So back in 2016, 17, 17, 18, they completely uh, started censoring flat Earth videos and removing channels and videos one after the other. So, but we didn't keep quiet. We found other ways, and I myself, I kept going. I'm still doing it. Okay, of course, there's one thing they use in politics, and they try to bring economic sanctions. Okay, just look at what happened. Like when a country is not behaving according to the international community, they go under by sanctions, which is economic sanctions. So they did the same thing with us, predators. For example, my channel, it's impossible to monetize or to do anything, super chat or anything, unless I remove the flat Earth content. Okay, so my whole goal is to spread, to talk about flat Earth, right? So I don't want to sell out, of course. I'm here to tell the truth, to talk about flat Earth. So the censorship continues. All right. So last week I was going to bring this video on about Trudeau, Canada, Canada's prime minister. So I'm glad Russian Vids, shout out to Russian Vids, he did a short video talking about, and also John Thor, he did also a video, but none of them played the whole Trudeau speech about flat Earth. So he went to a firefighters, I don't know, convention, whatever, and he basically wasted 20 minutes of those people who were there to probably talk about, better conditions for the families or salaries, and he was talking about flat Earth. So I selected 7 minutes from that talk. So I cannot play 7 minutes here because my limit is 5. So what I did, I fast forward 5%, to fit in 5 minutes. So you're gonna listen to the whole Justin Trudeau talk on flat Earth. how it bothers him. It really bothers him. So let me go ahead and play this stuff. Justin Trudeau on Flat Earth.
I remember a few years ago, before the pandemic, before much of this, I got fascinated with the idea of flat earthers. Now, this is an entirely new phenomenon. There wasn't really any moment back in recorded history, not the ancient Greeks or the ancient Babylonians or the Incas or whoever else, who actually wondered whether the earth was actually flat or not. But recently, over the past few years, a whole bunch of people have decided that the world is flat. Now, everything we know about science, from the people we've sent to the moon, to the photos we've taken from space, to how we explain day versus night and seasons, we know that the earth is round. But there are a whole bunch of people out there who have decided that the earth is flat. And they hang out with each other, and they find different ways of proving to themselves that the earth is flat. Now, that may not seem like a very serious thing, because someone who believes the earth is flat is not going to necessarily cause tremendous harm to everyone else. But the ability to start to believe something that simply isn't true, because enough people are telling you and reinforcing that around you, actually starts creating real problems and can bring us as a society to very scary places. And that's why we're still very much trying to figure it out. How to make sure we're protecting people's freedom of speech and freedom of expression, and we're making sure that marginalized communities and people who are traditionally oppressed by majorities continue to be protected in all the ways they need to be in societies, because there are lots of tools for majorities to oppress minorities everywhere in the world. But our capacity to make sure we're keeping people safe and not having people actually believe that include a microchip that's going to track you or poison you when it's actually about saving your life, these are things we have to figure out together. And the more we have real conversations, the more we encourage our kids to be critical thinkers about what they see on the internet, the more we teach our kids, not to take candy from strangers, not to, walk into dark alleys on alone. You have to look both ways before crossing the street. Well, we have to start making sure that as parents and as a society, we're helping kids and all of us be smart and safe in what we choose to learn, what we choose to consume, who we choose to hang out with on the internet as well. It's a big world out there. There's a lot of beauty and wonderful things, and you're going to have more access to it than anyone else has ever before. There's also some really dark spots out there that your dad's going to be very thoughtful about how he's going to keep you safe from all sorts of things in life, and that's just an extra worry we get as parents as our kids spend more time on their cell phones than was ever thought possible either. One of the challenges is governments used to have the ability to protect people. If a shipment of Nazi propaganda was coming over to Canada, well, border guards could stop it at the border and make sure that it wasn't distributed in bookshops across the country. We had an ability to make sure that if someone walked up to someone else and said terrible things and were spewing hatred or taking a swing at someone in the public square, we had tools and structures and police officers and rules that could respond to that. Governments could keep their citizens safe. But now, the internet means there's a lot of people spending a huge amount of time in places that governments have no ability to keep you directly safe from. Internet companies, specifically the web giants like Facebook and Google and others, have a huge responsibility on how we shape our democracies, how we get along, what we see. They are using algorithms that pick the right YouTube videos for you. You'll show you the cat videos or the baby videos that you love to watch to make you giggle. I mean, there are really, really powerful choices going on every single day in terms of what you're seeing when your homepage pops up, when you're, surfing the web. And it's learning constantly what is going to distract you better.
All right, guys, you heard it. So he wants more censorship on the internet. It's not enough that the big techs are already recommending you cat videos or silly videos. They play with the algorithm, so they keep you just entertained, us, not just you, us, not really aware of what's going on. So, in order of them, all this power structure to prevent people from listening to what we have to say, they want more censorship, right? So that brings to the TikTok ban. You guys from the US, all that uh, Congress hearing last week, a couple weeks ago, on the TikTok ban. I actually made a meme about that, one of the ladies, and they took down from Facebook. Okay, even a silly meme about Mr. Chu. Okay, one of the ladies asking Mr. Chu a silly question, and so Trudeau, he wants more censorship of the internet because people are having access to knowledge, and he chose some crazy words saying that people choose to believe flat Earth. We don't choose. We realize Earth is flat. Okay, there's no curvature. The Earth is not moving. Okay, all the images from space are CGI, fake. There are no real images. Sorry, guys. So a big hug for the guys in Canada because you're going through some difficult times right now. So I just learned that one of censorship bills, the same one they wanna they wanna have in the U.S., they already passed. Okay, in the U.S. they have one. I'm gonna play the videos here. So let's go ahead and play the one from the US. Okay, it's SB 686 if I'm not sure. So let's go ahead and watch this one here.
Our federal government is completely out of control. They're about to grant themselves even more ridiculous powers. This Senate bill, S686, go read it, has nothing to do with banning TikTok. It has everything to do with using TikTok as an excuse to grant themselves the power to control political speech. Because what do they consider a threat on these platforms? What do you think is a threat about TikTok? Your information, your billing address, what? How you make pasta? Is that the threat? No, the threat is political speech. The threat is Americans getting on this platform and speaking their mind about the federal government. Congress never passes up an opportunity to grant itself more money or more power, and that's what they're doing here. It is going to give the Secretary of Commerce, the Director of National Intelligence and Homeland Security, the ability to determine what is an unnecessary risk to the American federal government. They say for the people, right? But it's not for you. They're not worried about what you're being exposed to. Because TikTok, for example, is a platform made up of Americans. Go scroll your feed. That's who's talking. Us. And what are we talking about? Oh, all kinds of things. But what do you think that the government is concerned that we're talking about on there? The truth. Their power, their control, criticism of them. Political opposition is the problem that they have on TikTok. They're going to eliminate that. The Secretary of Commerce and the Department of Homeland Security and the Director of National Defense and other agency heads, these are the people that get to decide what is an unacceptable risk and who's a foreign adversary. It's up to them, their sole discretion. And why is that a big deal? Because guess who determines who works in these positions? Do you vote for them? No. They're appointed by the administration, which means they answer to the administration, which means if they want to keep their jobs, they do the bidding of the administration. We are creating a fascist state where the power is all held by the president, by these offices that he appoints. We no longer have freedom in America. This will ensure that we can't even talk about it anymore.
Exactly, Yvonne. All the governments are run by the same people. You know, that is that we. It's just a theater. It's just like a play, right? Behind the scenes, we have a powerful group, and this group they rule behind every government. All the presidents and prime ministers, they're just puppets, and we are powerless, guys. We don't. We. It's very difficult for us to take back power and really fire all these uh, politicians because they do not work for the people. Okay, they pretend that they do, but they don't really work for the people. So you just heard this bill SB 686. I was listening. Someone read the whole bill. It's terrible. I mean, it's the end of every freedom. I think all the flat Earth channels will be wiped out. We won't be able to talk about anything else, and there will be severe penalties and prison for people who try. They say some people say, "Oh, if you get a VPN, virtual uh, point or whatever, you can get by." You can't. I mean, if you say something, you'll be supposed to, like you risk your freedom to go to jail and all that stuff. Now, the worst thing is that this bill is still being, you know, trumpeting in the US. They're not really debating it yet. What I learned is that in the Canada, they already passed one instance, like one level. It's moving on, right? And this is what I'm gonna show you right now.
All right, guys, here we are again. Bill C-11 in Canada just passed. Super disturbing Censorship Act. They are trying to silence us on the internet. Let's let our representatives know we are not down with them censoring our internet, with them taking away our access to good information, to new sources of news, okay? Because that's what they want to take from us.
So I downloaded this video this morning. So this stuff was out last night, actually. Remember Trudeau's speech against Flat Earth, asking for more censorship. It was a week ago, about 10 days ago. And so they're moving on. It's all about Flat Earth. And of course, there's all other things, they don't want us talking about. But I believe Flat Earth, and I made a compilation of TikTok videos 2 or 3 months ago saying that the reason they want to censor more is because of Flat Earth, because the Flat Earth exposes their lies, all the scam, all this stuff, the fakery of space, of going out and coming back, of moon missions, all that stuff. So, and it's a money pit, and it exposes all that stuff, exposes the politicians. So the one world order is all about having all nations under the control of a small group of people, very, very small group of people. So when I took parts of the documentary by Vika Drzev, Flatten the Curve, and he asked me to leave a final message to the people. And I spoke about the United Nations because my belief is that the United Nations is like this. You become a member, so you give up your sovereignty. Okay, you have to abide by the whatever the United Nations tells you to do. Proof is the whole pandemic stuff when the I'm sorry, guys. The World Health Organization issued some directives, and all the countries had to abide by those. Like the face diaper. So, I mean, you just give up your sovereignty and your freedom to a group of people that you did not elect. So the United Nations, right there. I mean, it's a big mistake. All right, it's all to hide the creator, and I agree with some of the comments here. It's all about hiding the creator, and Let me see. Yeah, shout out to you, Dave Device. Glad to see you here. Blue Dot. Yeah, I got my uh, Flat Earth clock app. So this is all about not allowing us to speak. I wonder how that will affect the app. If they pass a bill like this one, they going through Canada's. If they pass the SB 686, how will that affect the app? Because there are opportunities you can chat with each other. You can I wonder if they will come after something like this on all platforms. So it's you know it's very disturbing. It's very disturbing. I talked to some of my students, and they are aware of what's going on. And I'm happy that we have 99 right now people watching. But it's still like it's still a small number. I wish all these 99 people were in Congress. Uh, Flat Earthers in Brazil, we grew to a big number. We had probably 16 million flat earthers, and I believe people in Brazil were able to elect 2 representatives who are flat earthers. And the first thing they wanted to do is to take it to Congress to investigate the Brazilian Space Agency. But the new president, he's a communist, and we don't know what's going to happen right now in Brazil. But I mean, so our days of having this conversation like we are having right now might be numbered. Perhaps we still have 1 year left, but they will be advancing all these bills, and if they don't pass now, the problem with these secret societies and Jesuits, they never give up. They wait. Just like the Reformation, okay? The Reformation, what happened is the very first 10 years, they could not infiltrate Luther and all the reformers, They were steadfast, firm with the Bible. So they waited. 10 years later, they came back and they were able to infiltrate, all right, the reformers. And sometimes, like, I like that pastor from, I forgot the church, it's a church in Philadelphia. And he was explaining like they waited until all the generation of reformers to die so they could bring heliocentrism back to the table. So they never give up. Okay. So I wish we had a lot of blue dots in the Congress. I wish some of the senators were blue dots, but they are the opposite side. Okay. So when you hear them speaking, and they are all global believers. This is what it's really sad. All those people are global believers. And look what a mess of a world they have brought us to. It's a mess. All these people are global believers. They believe the science, right? They are, all for the science. And look what a mess we are. This is what their science has brought us to. Okay. And now they're gonna what? I have a video here. It was made by ODD a couple of years ago. So I made a 2023 version. So I'm not really worried, but I'm a little bit concerned that this episode may be taken down. But I want to go ahead and play this. It's a song by ODD. He was back in, I believe, 2015. So I made a 2023 version of it. So let me hide this comment for a minute. I'll bring it back. But I want to listen to this song. So let's enjoy this song. Give me a break so I can get some for my throat.
You don't really understand sometimes what a terrible burden it is to know some of the things that I know. And try to wake people up and impart this knowledge to them. And find out that they just have walls built in front of them. They want to be slaves.
Now, I risk sounding like a conspiracy theorist, but it's no longer a theory. What I'm about to say is fact. The secret organizations of the world power elite are no longer secret. They have planned and are now leading us into a one-world communist government.
Take a journey with me deep inside the rabbit hole. Wake up, my friends, there's some things that you have to know. Everything you ever thought you knew, it has to go. For instance, NASA is the world's largest magic show. 9/11 was a planned demolition and Sandy Hook was a scam. Come on, man, are you tripping? Constant programming being crammed in your vision. Just take a step back and examine this prison. Turn on the news and they're trying to blind you. All they ever do is tell you lies and divide you. There's nowhere you can even hide, they'll find you. Illuminati all-seeing eye right behind you. It's about time you find out we're being lied to. They're attempting to control the mind that's inside you. Hide you from the power that designed you. Does anybody have a problem with this? Well, I do. I want the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. They say they got it, but they're never coming up with proof. If you're looking, then they got you jumping through these hoops. The lies always continuing to rise and busting through the roof. I want the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. They say they got it, but they're never coming up with proof. If you're looking, then they got you jumping through these hoops. The lies always continuing to rise and busting through the roof. They're lying to us about everything. How can this be? I know I'm not crazy, and yet I'm questioning my sanity. I see what the Illuminati's doing to humanity. The truth is stranger than fiction. We're living in a fantasy. What I'm witnessing is unreal. It's a one-way battle for us cattle going uphill. If we don't stand and fight now, then no one will. Our children will never know freedom. It's a done deal. The future's not looking so promising. It's the poor who go to war while the rich keep on profiting. It's us that they're slaughtering and money that they're honoring. And soon it's gonna be the new world order that they're offering. It's mind-boggling how so many don't seem aware. And if they are, it's like they really just don't even care. Our world is broken and I'm hoping it can be repaired. But we'll have to fight for it, so just be prepared. I want the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. They say they got it, but they're never coming up with proof. If you're looking, then they got you jumping through these hoops. The lies always continuing to rise and busting through the roof. I want the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. They say they got it, but they're never coming up with proof. If you're looking, then they got you jumping through these hoops. The lies always continuing to rise and busting through the roof.
Forget the politicians. Politicians are put there to give you the idea that you have freedom of choice. You don't. You have no choice. You have owners. And they own all the big media companies, so they control just about all of the news and information you get to hear. They got you by the balls. They don't want a population of citizens capable of critical thinking.
So that's my 2023 version of that song. I mean, a lot of truth is spelled out in this song. I really enjoy it. And I mean, it just makes your blood boil, you know? Like, look at that lady from Australia. I can't pronounce her last name, but her first name is something like Gladys. And she took $10 million from, the company that makes the stuff. Corruption, scam. And all those people are global believers, You tell them about, it's just like Justin Trudeau, he wants to censor flat Earth, when in fact, I mean, flat Earth exposes their lies, So he wants to ban. So all those people are flat earthers, Same thing with the president of Brazil, the new president. He's a communist. He has a video. It's very similar to Trudeau's, talking about how they flat about against flat Earth and how the ball Earth is they are all ballers. They are all ballers. They all defend the ball Earth. And look at the guy from France, Macron. Ask him what shape the Earth is. He's gonna say it's a ball. All those people are globalists, not just globalists in the sense of having the whole world under the idea of a globe, but under the rule of a very few small, group of people. And let me go back and put this banner here because, professing themselves to be wise, they became fools. So who else? I mean, look at the politicians. Let's talk about the politicians. The guy from Ukraine. I mean, that actor from Ukraine. Okay, ask him what shape of the Earth is. Ask the guy from Facebook. They censor. I've seen flat Earth videos with the banner. The disclaimer, the fact checks. Fact checks. You know, and then you look at YouTube. Right, every video of mine has the Wikipedia disclaimer there. So, okay, they are all the people who are taking this place to hell, bringing hell to earth. You know, even though Earth was, cursed by Adam's sin, I mean, we still have a lot of good things here because Christ is the second Adam, and through Christ we can make this place heaven. But these people are demonic. To Christian, shout out to you, man. Long time no see you, man, and good to see you here. And shout out to everyone. Like I really like. I enjoy the fact that Dave Device here. Shout out to you know uh, Flat Earth and Coffee. We had the conversation a couple weeks ago. RV Truth. I really like RV, and so many guys. I listen to a lot of channels. You can just go to my YouTube channel and see how I subscribe to a whole bunch of channels. So shout out to ODD. I used his video too. Uh, so let me find that comment back. I wanna put it here. Can't find. I think it's way behind the chat. So I know, Mike, you want me to play the firmament video. Just give me one more second. I still got some more stuff here to play and concern all that stuff. So you saw that the Stan Jones, there was a politician. He was the one who was talking about back in the 1996. He was saying about the world secret organizations has taken over, and that it's no longer a secret. And he said it correctly back in 1996 when he was running for Senate. So we need those guys, guys who are aware of what's going on, are not affiliated with any secret societies. And I want to say about the amount of anti-Christ stuff going on, because the Bible is really interesting. It says, like Jesus said, like even you being bad people know how to give good stuff to your children. So when I was living in Alabama, everybody enjoyed going to that Amish farm because they had the best ice cream. I mean, everybody loved it. It was the best ice cream because it was made with the fear of the Lord. Those Amish people, their farm, they had they had they still have, like they try to not use any pesticides or fertilizer. The animals are not treated in cruelty. Because they fear the Lord. When you fear God, when you're gonna have to uh, give an account of your acts, you will not do harm to your neighbor. Love your neighbor as you love thyself. That's the commandment of the Lord. So we as Christians have to do it like that. We need to fear the Lord and not to deceive people. But once you remove that, what do you have? Look at Richard Dawkins. For so long, he tried to get people away from God, preaching uh, a an atheist world. And now he himself regrets, because look at England, what has become of England, and how you trust the people who are atheists and selling you, milk or anything like that. I mean, there's so much corruption going on. And if you don't fear the Lord, I mean, why not cheat on this or that? So TikTok is interesting. There is this guy. He has a very powerful, about this size magnet. It's specific for finding uh, mixed. He has gold bars and silver bars, and he says if there is just like 1% iron in that or mixed, that magnet will pick. So he has a whole bunch of gold bars, and he applies that magnet, and some of them, it sticks. And then he shows the gold bars saying, oh, like 100%, all that stuff. And it's not. Okay, there is mixing there. So whenever people can cheat, they will cheat. If they don't fear the Lord, they will cheat. And so imagine a world without that, without the fear of the Lord. Who can you trust? That's why the guy wants us to eat the bugs, right? The bugs, and be confined in 15-minute cities. I mean, this is what the belief in the globe has brought us to. Globe heliocentrism. After that, evolution came right after. 1700s, 1800s, they start preaching this heliocentric model. 1700s, 1800s, you have what? Revolution, evolution. All right, late in the 1800s or 1900s, yes, late in the 1800s, Karl Marx wrote his Communist Manifesto, whatever. 1900s, you had all these nations adopting communism, and then atheism ripening up. I mean, you have destroyed, you know? Look at all this stuff going on in schools, the violence, the people. I mean, people ask me here in Japan, is that right? Is that true that in the US now you can steal up to $915 or 50 cents? So yeah, places in San Francisco, California. I mean, you remove prayers from school, that's what you get. What kind of society? So to maintain this society, you have to bring totalitarianism. Okay, that's why they're gonna bring communisms all over. From North America, South America, everywhere. Sorry, guys, let me have a sip of water here. So let me read the chat and shout out here for some of the guys. So, Mikey, I'm gonna see if I can show your videos now. Let me share my screen and present. So I hope you guys are doing fine. Share screen, mute, select screen, tie screen. Okay. All right, so let me see here. Mike, he sent me some videos on the firmament. These are screenshots, guess. I downloaded the images, Mikey, that you sent me. So this is one. This is another one. And this is the other one. So I think you're still sending me. I'll check in a minute. Okay. So let's go back here and well, let me say, Brazil, Eddie, you're coming in a long way. I'm sorry, buddy, you are. Thank you, guys. Thank you, everyone. All right, thank you, guys. Stay on course. Okay, you gotta stay on course. You cannot deviate to the right or to the left. Stay on course. Earth is flat. It's not I mean, it's a fact. It's provable. We're not moving. There's no curvature. So I might have a pilot in the next show. He's not a flat Earth pilot. He's a globe pilot. He has sent me a couple messages. So I invited him to the show. So let's see what's going to happen. Okay. So let me show this one here. Modern Warfare 3. Okay, you come a long way from when you started, buddy. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Modern Warfare. And so shout out to everyone here. Sunflower, always here. Thank you for your support, for your presence in the chat. Okay. It's the bugs, yeah, or nothing. Okay, this is what the globalists, the global believers want. That's what they want for the whole world. Okay. I mean, people. Sometimes I think, like those channels, like the Mactoon guy, the Simon Dan, that guy that took 20,000, the greater sapien. I mean, what's going on with these guys? I mean, how can they defend the people who want to oppress them, who want to take their freedom away? I mean, I don't know. I don't know, man. It's terrible. Thank you. Yeah, I still got working, TikTok. Even though they say it's not, there's no censorship, there is censorship on Flat Earth. Because if you just type Flat Earth, it brings up a lot of bad stuff. Really, really, really bad. So what you have to do, people ask me, how do you find so many Flat Earth videos on TikTok? Because I go to filter, and I always choose last 24 hours. So that will bring all the videos uploaded on Flat Earth for the last 24 hours. And also I use words like firmament and Bible cosmology, or Bible Earth, something like that. So you have firmament, yeah. You have more choices. So that's how I find some, but there is censorship on TikTok, on Flat Earth. Yeah, there is. Okay. And I want to play this video here. It's some people making fun of the hearings. It was all for me to show this last week, guys, but my throat was really, really bad. So let me hide this banner first and play. So you might laugh a little bit. There is some funny stuff here. So let's show this one.
Have you been paying attention to everything that has been going on the past few days with Chew getting drilled by the Congress? This is scary stuff, people. We are watching our First Amendment right being taken away right in front of us. Like, this is mind-blowing to me.
The U.S. Congress is banning free speech. It worked.
Why are kids dumb on your app? Because they're doing all types of stupid things. I mean, I just... Shut up and answer the question. Don't answer the question when I'm asking you the question. Answer the question. Answer the question when I'm asking you a question.
We are not out of touch. As the algorithms use GSP, you mean GPS? Lying in Congress is a federal crime. But I didn't. You can literally look it up. No! There's my soundbite, guys. Put it on Twitter. You're literally in China, right? No, I'm from Singapore. No! China!
Konnichiwa. Hello? How many people that vote in China are communists? I don't think they can vote under communist. It's a yes or no. Do you let your Chinese son use TikTok? I'm from Singapore. It's a yes or no. Does your son, while living in China, use TikTok? TikTok isn't used in China. It's a yes or no. No. So you don't let your own child use the app. Okay, so is that because you hate children and you want them all to die? What? Do you even love your child? Of course. So you're saying that you love children, then? Oh, that's creepy. All your Chinese communist app shows me is gay stuff. So the algorithm generally shows you content that you regularly interact with. Pay me. I'm sorry? Pay me for my data. Don't look at my pupils.
It's like explaining to my dad how to send an email.
Data to identify our users. We do not. The only face data that you'll get, that we collect, is when you use the filters to have, say, sunglasses on your face. We need to know where your eyes are.
Why do you need to know what the eyes are if you're not seeing if they're dilated?
And that data is stored on your local device and deleted after use if you use it for facial. Again, we do not collect body, face, or voice data to identify our users.
I find that hard to believe. It's our understanding that they're looking at the eyes. How do you determine what age they are then?
We rely on age dating as our key age assurance.
Age
dating, which is when you ask the user what age they are. We have also developed some tools where we look at their public profile to go through the videos that they post to see whether...
Well, that's creepy. Tell me more about that.
It's public.
Okay, Asian man from China, tell me why you're killing American children. If I pour NyQuil on my chicken, will I die?
TikTok was fined over $276 million for leaking more than 533 million users' data. Oh wait, that was Facebook. Anyway, TikTok gave data access to a Chinese company that was flagged by US intelligence. That was also Facebook. Around 15 people have been live streamed unaliving or having horrible acts happen to them. That was also Facebook. TikTok has been sharing your personal data with over 150 companies. That was also Facebook. That's Facebook.
All right, bring the questions.
Will you,
do you need some water? What's wrong with you?
Sorry.
Okay.
Recognize that TikTok has made efforts to provide parents and guardian increased options to monitor and limit
whatever. Go on.
their child's activity on the app, including family pairing and time limit features. But I still have concerns.
Oh, I have concerns too. How about the fact that you can't speak right?
Sorry. TikTok commit to developing other methods.
Nope.
For parents to monitor their child's use of the app without having to download the TikTok app.
TikTok.
The TikTok.
Oh Lord, just keep going.
So that the parent can easily set their own screen time limit.
How about this, Karen? How about you do you, I do me, and you leave my First Amendment right out your business.
Sorry.
TikTok, right? This congresswoman was talking about TikTok, not TikTok. All right, so the same, I'm not defending TikTok. I mean, I just get my flat earth videos from there, a lot of compilations. But what you see on TikTok, you see on Instagram, you see on Facebook. I mean, it's not different, right? So let me go ahead and see if I can show. Mike, let me know the firmament pictures. Okay, let me open them and share my screen one more time. This one. So you want me to zoom, but I don't quite understand this. This is supposed to be some of my firmament pictures. So, okay, I didn't play the video because I downloaded just like this. This is not a video. This is just an image, right? So I suppose this is, you can explain the chat what's going on, right? Okay. And okay, so big shout out to Look Beside the Star. Yeah, I saw that let me go back and look at that again. Let me find it. Yeah, go back and look again. So I believe it's this thing here he's talking about. Okay, this is the star, and here or here. Okay, very interesting. And thanks for the link, Mikey, for the laser. I'll see if I can get it, you know, next month or so, and try to do the same thing here from Japan. All right, so I found it funny some of the last compilation of TikTok videos that I show here, the hearing. So a lot of those congressmen didn't know anything about internet, how it works, Wi-Fi, how it works, how you can download any app, and of course it will ask you permission to access Wi-Fi. All the apps are like that. Okay, so I mean it was pitiful, watching, and these people, they are the people who are ruling over us, and most of them, 100% of them, are all uh, believers of the globe, or they defend the globe. Right? So that's what's going on. So big, sorry. So big shout out to Seattle Green. He had an interview with Eric Dubay. I really enjoyed that interview. I have a whole bunch of videos to watch. Um, so the problem sometimes each video is like 2 hours or 3 hours long, and takes me 2 or 3 days to watch one video. And I have a list of videos that I still want to watch. And let me highlight this one here. Unfortunately, so we need some more good people, in charge. So sometimes I think that we Christians should not be too involved in politics, but at the same time, I think we should, and uh, we need good people, in office. We need people who are not. The problem with the secret societies, secret societies are international institutions, okay? So they're not really there in your country or in my country to look after the problems of my country or your country. They are there to fulfill an agenda that comes from elsewhere, okay? From Europe, most of the cases are from Europe. So when you have someone in your town, in your city, or in your country, in the Congress, whatever, who is also a member of a secret society, it's like you're working for two masters. Okay, you you can't please two masters. So if and these people, secret societies people, the secret societies always come first. Come first, then your own country. So you may be a patriot up to a point, but if the secret society require you to do something, even though it goes against your country, you will do it because you are committed. You have already received some benefits from being a member, and there is no way out. So I'm not saying like if you wanna be a member of this or that, you can, but it's very difficult to be a member of a secret society and also be a good citizen. Like what I mean is like really look at the interest of your country, being like a nationalist. I'm not saying a nationalist in the sense that you will exclude everybody else. My idea of the United that's the flat Earth. Flat Earth, you understand that we should not be united like United Nations. I think when you look at the Bible, when they wanted to have the Tower of Babel, they say, let's not spread, let's stay here. God separated them. Okay, God separated them. So we are not supposed to be united, unless it's united in the Lord. But we're not supposed to be united under the leadership of a man, of an institution. That's my idea. So flat Earth shows that we should have individual nations, and I'm all for individual nations having their own freedom and independency, not being tied to like United Nations or Or even like this American congressman, Stan Jones, said, if you hear the whole speech, he was talking about the free trades, and then how they once you join those free trade agreements, you lose up a little bit of your sovereignty, you know. So yes, nations can still trade to each other. We can visit each other countries, but I still think that not being bound by those foreigner foreign institutions, whatever you can call it, it would be the best for all of us. Okay, look at what's going on right now. So people are expecting the dollar to crumble, and that's going to affect the whole world. Now, in 1929, when they had the stock market crash in the US, it was really interesting because I read books about what was going on in Brazil. Nobody even knew what was going on. So there was a bunch of Americans who moved to Brazil in the 20s, 1920s, 90s, 30s, early 30s because of what had happened in the US. And they arrived in Brazil as immigrants, and people said, well, what happened in your country? Nobody even knew. Everybody was doing fine. So when you are independent, okay, I mean, it's just picture like this, okay? You have a whole bunch of bottles, okay? But you don't put them close together. You put at a distance, like a foot from each other, okay? So if you drop one, it's not going to affect the other. So let's say that this bottle is leaking. You have a whole bunch of bottles that you can drink water from. But if you have one single big bottle and that bottle is leaking, I mean, the whole thing is, So this is why I don't think we should ever have this kind of agreement. You can have some trade agreements, but you keep your currency, I keep my currency, and I keep my economy. So globalism, we were sold into this idea that was going to be good for us. And actually, all we did was to have those big tech companies and big pharma and big those companies that now rule food and and all over. Like here in Japan, we used to have a lot of markets, free markets, like not free markets, like farmers market and all that stuff. It's being taken over. Costco, Costco they have the big stores now, and you have to go and pay whatever. Gotta be a member. So this is what I'm talking about, guys. This show was all about saying like flat Earth exposes the lies and shows that we should not be under the power of one institution. It's too late now. There's little or nothing that we can do. The bills are going through Congress, and they are gonna bring more censorship. Our channels will probably be deleted, gone, and if you try to talk about it, there will be consequences. So it's too late now. Unfortunately, it's too late. So we're about to end the show. I always skip to 75 minutes. It was really nice having all of you guys here. Shout out to everyone. Thank you, everybody who was here today. Go ahead and play my closing song. And I'm going to play a different song today. This is a song that was also I have edited. Okay, it's an old song that I edited together. So guys, thank you so much. Next show probably is going to be Sunday the 23rd. And I will maybe have a pilot here. We still have to confirm everything. It's not a flat earth pilot. So let's see what's going to happen. It might be an interesting show. Thanks again, guys. I'm going to play this song. At the end of the song, the show is over. God bless each and every one of you. Bye-bye.
60 years ago, when the Russians beat us into space, we didn't deny Sputnik was up there. We We didn't argue about the science or shrink our research and development budget. We built a space program almost overnight, and 12 years later, we were walking on the moon.
All the pictures that they take, walking on the moon. I know that it's a fake, walking on the moon. They think they're so clever, walking on the moon. They can laugh forever, walking on the moon. All the pictures that they take, walking on the moon. I know that it's a fake, walking on the moon. They think they're so clever, walking on the moon. They can laugh forever, walking on the moon. All the pictures that they take, walking on the moon. I know that it's a fake, walking on the moon. They think they're so clever, walking on the moon. They can laugh forever, walking on the moon. So they say we're sending people to outer space. No way, there's never gonna be a moon base. It's our fate. Nobody's ever going to Mars. Nobody's ever gone to the moon. Forget about it.
We didn't go there. 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 We didn't